Hello everyone, I'm Joshua. I'm the second generation owner of Xi Men Jie.
So today we are in the newly open Junior outlet. We want to just learn more and understand more about your story, your business story, some of the insights that we get so we can share with the F&B industry.
Okay.
So yeah, I think what kick off is, I think you guys started in 2005.
Correct.
Tampines Mall, and up to today, you guys have like 9 outlets already. What was the origin story? Like how did you all start? Why did you all start?
Wow, okay, I think this question more for my mother, but she's the one that started this business in what you say 2005. So she actually went to Taiwan, and I think she fell in love with like the food culture there. She eventually found a chef who could teach her how to cook these Taiwanese dishes. She learned under this chef for quite some time. And then she felt that, hey, Singaporeans could actually love this kind of cuisine. So then she eventually thought of the idea to bring the Taiwanese flavors from Taiwan to Singapore. And then so she started Xi Men Jie that way.
Wow, so she found like a chef to like
teach
chef
her. Correct, yeah.
I mean, the brand was quite established. How do you come in to take it over to the next step?
So why did I join the business?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, I joined a little after COVID.
Okay.
Actually, there are a few factors that is the reason why I joined. I think 2 factors.
Okay.
So the first was that I actually went to law school, but it just happens during that time, one of the key employees left the business, and she was quite an integral part of the business, sort of like my mom's right-hand woman at that time. And then when she left, my mom was I can see she was very lost. And she would often come home, complain to me, say, hey, like this didn't get done, this didn't get done. Then over time, the more time she complained to me, I was like, okay, maybe if I were to join, this is what I could fix, this is what I could do. And also, the law school it costed like maybe $500,000. I think we realized that it's just a bit too expensive. And I was also thinking whether, is this the kind of financial burden I want to put on myself or my family? The second factor is actually, it's in a book that I read called Marcus Aurelius' Meditations. This book actually helped me a lot with my decisions. And it's very important because one of the quotes that I read about him was, the obstacle is the way. And he said, the impediment to action advances action. What is in the way becomes the way.
Okay.
So to put it simply, it's like the very thing that you are avoiding, the very thing that you are scared of, and the very thing that you are procrastinating on is the very thing that you need to do. And I feel like this is something that's very relatable to everyone nowadays.
Yeah. So this is something that you felt like you always actually wanted to do, or like was kind of hanging on you?
Correct. I just never thought it was F&B.
Yeah.
But it was a challenge that I sort of like took it upon myself. And because of what I read in that passage, I realized, okay, this is what I need to do. That's the reason why I joined. Yeah, and I recommend everyone to read that book. It really is like, I feel it's like some people may get angry at me, but I feel it's like the Bible of modern day life.
Especially like just understanding why you joined and taking on this challenge, right? Like there's also, so many Taiwanese kind of inspired brands that want to come in.
Right.
So how do you guys stay unique? What are some of the more unique points that you guys hold on to?
I think nowadays everybody wants to be different, but what's the definition of being different? I mean, like we can only follow the trend, what's working now, and we feel that what's working now tends to be minimalism.
Okay.
Tends to be something Instagrammable, right? People like to take picture of the place that they are in. Because we live in some digital age, so in order to be different, it needs to be something that is worth sharing. Then I feel like that easily puts you in a different place than others already, right? So that's what we strive to do here at Xi Men Jie, is to be minimalistic yet Instagrammable.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what you were sharing also, like in terms of how you guys keep the rural fun, right?
Oh yes.
How different and how you guys kind of like hyper localized to the scene.
That's correct. Yeah. A lot of people know that rural fun from Taiwan is always Pharaoh. So it's always the fatty meats, but it's very jelat. What we wanted to do is to cater to the local taste. So we switch out the Pharaoh for the cui rou, so it becomes lean meat instead. Makes it a lot more less jelat, makes it a lot more palatable. And that's one of the things that we changed about the dishes here.
Yeah, and how you guys you were sharing R&D a lot, talk to a lot of customers to understand.
Yes.
Just all the dedication to get there for rural fun.
That's correct. Yeah.
So dedication to craftsmanship.
And getting customer feedback is one of the most important things. I feel it's one of the most underrated things that owners can do nowadays. Like you need to get your customers' feedback. They are the ones eating your food. So they have a direct impact on your business. And if they felt that your food is not good enough, they're not going to come back. So it's very important to get customer feedback. Since I joined the business, right, during that time when my mom always complained to me, like, oh, okay, this is not working, this is not working. And then over time, you come up with solutions to her problems. Like, this is what it eventually led me to you guys. Right? Because one of the biggest pain point that she came to me was the POS system. Yeah. And the POS system during that time was extremely bad. It was essentially bottlenecking the system. And after I saw it for myself, I understood why. Because this POS has been rehearsed since the start. So it's very deeply entrenched into how the operations already is. Whenever we try to change something, it affects the other outlets. And it got so bad to the point where we just didn't want to touch the POS at all.
Then how do you add then?
We try not to add anything. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was.
I see.
Yeah, so when you came to me with your POS system, I'm like, I'm in, you know what I mean? And like,
yeah, I remember our meeting at Funan.
and so it was an easy choice. It was a no-brainer at that point. After I saw your system, it was very intuitive. It was something that I like. Personally, I like the minimalistic style of it. The change on back end is very simple. I enjoy efficiency a lot. So when I first saw Waffle, it was one of the most efficient POS that came to me as well. So it was a no-brainer at that point.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then also like the QR and everything, you were saying like you wanted to get everything integrated, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ideally, you want everything under one person, all in one.
All in one. Okay.
Yeah. So then you have you don't really need a lot of third parties to liaise with.
Yeah. And QR, like if you don't know about how the QR work for you guys also, right? Like the self-ordering, how does that help operations for the business across all the outlets and guys?
I think increase efficiency like Matt. So it's actually helped us to reduce manpower.
Okay.
I think F&B manpower is actually one of the most important things to think about when you want to do F&B. So we actually follow a rule of thirds. And what the QR did for us was to essentially eliminate more front of house stuff. And I mean, that's like 1,006 that you're saving just off one person. It's a lot, it adds up.
Yep. Across your different outlets.
Exactly, and it makes things so much more efficient also. You're not going to table by table and say, okay, what do you want? And then you got to repeat the order to them. So then the turnover is much better as well.
Yep.
So people can come in, and then at the end of the day, like QR is, I feel like if you're not doing QR, you're behind on the curve. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, can we make the operations right? Like every outlet has its own unique challenges.
Yes.
Right, across all different outlets. And like for me, like how I see is like you group it to like malls, office, like even kiosks.
Okay.
Right. So what are kind of the uniqueness of these few operational moves? Or is it like actually pretty much across the same?
Okay. I think when it comes to F&B, right, location is important. Location. That's what they always say, right?
Yeah.
And it's true, Each outlet will cater obviously to their different demographic. It's also important that you cater the menu to those demographic as well.
Okay.
Like for example, like here in Genio, you have you have the NUH, the hospital nearby, like nurses, they need to be on a quick turnover. So you can't really offer them food that's going to take longer to cook.
Okay.
Right? Ideally you want like rural farm one where you can just get it cooked and prepared within like a minute. Actually, we do it like 3 minutes, like max. Yeah, max. Even tamping also.
Like that, so be, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So when it comes to fast areas like a hospitals, like business workers, they only have like 1 or 2 hours to eat for their lunchtime, right? The food needs to be fast.
Yes.
But let's say for our other outlets like Rail Mall or like Bukit Panjang or Westgate, where it's more like a heartland area, then you tend to offer a lot more dishes to share. So something that can take a longer time to cook. Yeah, so that's how we shift like the menus around the location.
Got it. So you do some sort of menu engineering based on the demographics,
and that's very important. You need to cater to the local preferences. It's very important.
And also that's how your R&D and your rural fund, is so local.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes. I mean, talking about location, right? I think Genio is like one of the newest locations. How do you choose this new location, and how do you strategize for this location?
I think this comes with experience, right? You know what I mean? Like, my mom has been in this business for 20 years already. So the things that she has seen, what works and what doesn't, then we just follow up on that. And what seems to work for us is apparently business crowds. We used to have an outlet in Raffles Place, and the outlet there was actually very good because business time, the office workers need to eat.
Yeah.
So in the sense that you always have this set of customers that will always come, rather than heartland malls. You know, they may or may not come, but they may, you know, the mom or dad may cook at home,
Yeah.
right? Like office people, they need to eat lunch. So how we choose is we prioritize more towards business side, but we look at what works and what doesn't. And for us, business is where the office is at. Yeah.
Also because you guys prioritize like speed.
Our food is very efficiently prepared, I would say. Yeah. Most of the things you can get done within like 6 minutes most.
Wow.
I'll say yeah.
Very time focused, like.
Very, very, yeah. Because we understand that, you know, we're like a fast casual sort of dining. And especially that we cater to a lot of office people. They need it fast now. Yeah.
So was that one of the biggest, like, kind of from the start, were you all very focused on speed already, or like, you know, as you guys evolve and you guys move, then you realize that this is probably one of our unique points.
Yeah.
Some of the evolutions, or like from the start that was the focus?
I think that's something that everyone should like always strive for. So it's something that over time, as you get used to the processes, then you start to see where you can actually cut time on, be more efficient on. So I think it comes naturally as you go along with the process. I think a lot of management, they always think like, okay, I feel like this will work best, let me just implement it. But you need inputs from your frontline staff, because ultimately what you're doing is for them.
Yeah.
And if the frontline staff is efficient, your business will be efficient, because they are your army, they're your frontline people. So I feel like it's very important that when management make decisions, it's to base off them.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yeah. The
Got
frontline
it.
staff.
And like when we first joined the business, right? Like, were there some challenge? What are some of the biggest challenges that you faced, and what are some of the things that you needed to like immediately change, and you saw like kind of progress from that kind of change?
Wow. I think the biggest apparent change was the POS lah.
Oh yes. Correct.
It was the POS. After changing the POS, right, our business operations become so much more smoother. We're able to add like promos easily, change listings, add and remove dishes. Yeah, everything just becomes efficient, and you know, like you guys have a great customer service team as well.
Thank you.
Something that's very important.
Yeah. I remember that was the first thing that you told me also when we met. Right, that was like one of the key things that you were actually looking out for.
Exactly.
When we got introduced. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, man. I think like for your multi kind of location, you all have different locations.
Yeah.
What were some of the key features, I guess, maybe within the POS, within the QR that you feel that is the most helpful for managing different locations?
How simple is it to use?
Okay.
So you don't need to do a lot of thinking. Like, so it's quite common sense. And obviously the QR scan is also a game changer. Like, previously we will always have them come up to the counter and then like get them to do like a form. Then like, I think OG customers will know that you guys would like put like a marker on a thing. Then you mark what you want. Then we need to go and erase. Then over time the paper becomes very dirty. So the QR was a big game changer for us. And it makes everything a lot more cleaner and ultimately more efficient. I think that's what we're going for here. The keyword is efficiency.
Yep. Okay. I guess also like you were talking briefly about like franchising.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So I think you wanted to also like do the whole franchise kit and everything. How was that journey like? And you know, what was the outcome?
Right.
You can share more.
So we actually did complete our franchise kit late last year. But in the end, we decided to not go with franchise. And the reason is because Singapore is just too small. At some point, if you have a lot of franchisees, roughly 5 kilometers within each other, right, you'll start to affect each other, because then you guys become each other's competition.
I mean, like running as second gen, right? What are some of the different kind of business philosophies, practices that you put in place or want to put in place to bring the business forward?
That because it's ever changing, there's no one size fits all. For example, one of the issue was that when we wanted to revamp our menus and we want to apply it across our other outlets, but then we realized that not all outlets has the space to accommodate the new dishes on the menu.
Okay.
It was a big obstacle for us.
Yeah.
Very big. Because if we can't bring in the equipment to cook the new dishes, we can't have the new menu. And if we can't have the new menu, we cannot grow. And you know, it's not the strongest that survive, it's not the fittest that survive, it's the one that adapts, that survives. So, especially in the Singapore climate where things are changing so fast, if you can't catch up, you'll be left behind. So what we did was, we went to a deep dive of the entire location, then we see which are the redundant things, which are the things that can be put into 2-in-1. So rather than one thing for one thing, is there something that can be for 2 users, right? So we switched out a few things, and just so happens that we were able to fit in the new equipment, so we can able to get a new menu. And we also realized that next year, when the JB train opens, it's going to make it a lot easier for Singaporeans to not spend money here anymore, right? So we do see that as a big obstacle that's coming.
Okay.
And you can really see the trend now. I think most F&B owners can see that there's a downtrend now, and that locals are spending less in Singapore, which is not a good thing, because then now the JB train is going to make it easier to not spend here.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is, but what we can do is obviously to adapt.
So I guess the main thing that you bring kind of to the table is the adaptability.
Correct, yes.
Right? Like you adapt fast, move fast. It's not the strongest that survive, more like you can adapt fast.
That's correct, yeah, yes. Correct.
Okay.
And I think what most people also don't realize is that Singapore is actually an anomaly. What I mean by anomaly is that when you go to a restaurant, you scan the QR, you slowly look through, you are not disturbed, you are in peace, right? That's the anomaly. Singapore likes it quiet. Singapore don't want to get disturbed. But when you go to other countries, people want to be served. People want to be treated like kings and queens, especially when you come out, you spend like $60.
Yeah.
But Singapore is the opposite.
Yeah.
You're going to spend $60 here, you don't disturb me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, any more peaceful and ask you go inside the kitchen and cook yourself already. You know what I mean?
Give you the ingredients.
Just do it yourself. I won't disturb you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Singapore is an anomaly. So I feel like in order to survive and to adapt, right, we also have to join them. We need to venture out of Singapore, because Singapore is just too small already.
Wow, it's very daring. I mean, that's the daring step that you're trying to bring in. So adaptability,
Exactly.
also the daringness to try.
Exactly, yeah. You
But
have to
also
try.
very calculated.
Yeah.
Calculated risk.
I mean, if you don't try, you never know.
Yep.
And business is all about taking risk.
Yeah.
If you don't take risk, you might as well stay home. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, and like how have, I mean, of course you all go and venture and take a look at how the outside looks like. How optimistic is the outside looking in terms of expansion?
Yeah, okay, that's a very good question, because each country has its own set of problems, right? Like, what is the alternative? If you're so scared of this, you don't want to grow, the alternative is just you don't do anything, but you're still gonna die anyways. It's just a downtrend from here, because like I said, the JB train, if you don't adapt, you will lose. And I think there's some of this article that said like 3,000 outlets closed within last year, right? That's a lot. I mean, at our stage right now, personally, expansion out of Singapore would be the best way to go.
So what were some things that you had to get right first before you can go overseas? Now, what do you feel are some of the things that you need to get right first before you can actually expand successfully?
Operations is like the heartbeat of your business. It's easily 80% of your daily activity. If you don't have the SOP, if you can't do it in Singapore, how are you going to do it overseas? And overseas is going to be even harder, because you have their own regulations. You're not born there, you're not a citizen there, you have a lot of hoops to jump through. You even have more hoops actually. So operations is key, and that's number one. Number two is of course also manpower. Manpower is a key issue in Singapore, as with all other F&B business.
Okay. So mainly it's operational, mainly it's SOP that you need to get right first.
Yes,
Before
100%.
you can.
It's always SOP actually.
And overseas, the same thing applies. Location. That's
Definitely.
the key first thing that you kind of look at.
Like you can have the best food in the world, but if your location is bad, right, no one's gonna come. You know what I mean? I mean, they will come. They will travel from west to east, but they'll come one time only.
But you want them to come like 10, 20, right? That's
Exactly.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I mean like venturing overseas as like the next step is a huge step for anyone, whether it is F&B or not. So
Right.
yeah. And talking about the JB trade, right? Like how are you guys like preparing for that? Or are there things that you're preparing for to in line with the JB train kind of opening or
Okay, I think we need to be realistic lah.
Yeah.
There's no way Singapore prices can compete with JB prices, right? They will always find cheaper food there. How to compete is, you just need to ensure that your menu stays fresh. You are always innovating. You are coming up with new dishes, new items that can spark interest in consumers. But it's easier said than done, because it can be nice, but it's also expensive, and there's a lot of factors that people look out for, right? The cost and affordability of it.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're doing is that we're just trying to diversify.
Yeah.
And diversifying for us is diversifying outside of Singapore.
Understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think our different outlets also have like different menu items and things how you guys kind of keep it
Correct. And keep in mind, Xi Men Jie is 20 years already. Like we've been here long enough.
Yeah.
And this, our linear growth progression is of course overseas already.
Yeah. So it's like kind of time also lah.
Correct. I mean, but for those who can't venture overseas as of now, I think the only thing that you can do is to just double down on your menu. Make sure you know what your unique selling points are.
I mean, last thing more like for me is these 3-4 years that you've been in the business, right? What are some of like the ups and the downs that you have faced, and how do you kind of like get past that as a business owner here? It's not an easy climate.
Correct. I think that the biggest hurdle was the dynamic between me and my mom.
Okay.
You know, family business is not always very easy. You will always have your disagreements over small things. I feel it's part and parcel of having a family business. But how a family business can be successful is whether your parent is open to your ideas or not.
Yeah.
Because all habits die hard, right? And once they are very ingrained in their ways, they will always feel that this is the way. And the way to change their mindset is actually show them that the other path is actually is also possible. It could be better.
Yeah.
And I mean, thankfully, I'm grateful that my mom is quite liberal.
Yeah.
So she's very open to new ideas as long as it works, right? As long as it brings results, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And so I think the dynamic between me and my mom, at the start we did have a lot of disagreements over certain things, like the outlet design, like the POS system also, and the efficiency stuff. And because she's already been doing it for 20 years, so she felt like this is the best, and okay, follow her.
Give and take, right?
Yeah, correct. And then over time, she'll start to realize actually, hey, this actually might be the better way to do it. Let's try. Okay, then good. Turns out it works. Yeah. So that's how we started with Realmore and Genio. So this is actually my idea. Like the design here, to make it more minimalistic, to make it more Instagrammable with like the curve at the back. Yeah. And this is my idea. So this is the third generation design that we came up with lah.
I see.
And we trial tested that at Realmore.
Yeah.
It worked well, so we replicated it into Genio here.
I see. Okay. So wow. So that's one of the biggest challenges you face in terms of like coming into the business and like years ago.
Correct. It's always like the management level lah. Especially when your boss is your mom or your dad. I mean, it's always never easy lah.
I mean, as second gen owner, you know, and how you kind of how seriously you all think about like the relationship between like you and of course your mom.
Yeah.
Right. And then you talking about like even going to like a conference to talk about this, just want to like learn more about it.
And it turns out to be a very insightful seminar.
Interesting to know like how far you guys take it also, like to really go for a conference, understand it, build like such strong, you know, management relationship between like mother and son, so that they kind of can boil down to the company lah.
Yes.
So it's nice to see that kind of dedication. Yeah, man. So I think as we close it off, I wanted to give a quick shout out to your new outlet, and I'll leave that to you lah.
Okay, yeah. So guys, this is our newest outlet. It's at Genio Mall. It's right above, I think, Kent Ridge MRT, right next to NUH and Shopee actually. And our unit number is L135. And it's a very nice mall. You know, come take a look, take some pictures, and then find Xi Men Jie over here.
Alright! Thank you!
Thank you.
Thanks, John. I hope you had fun.